The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome back to The Gloves Are Off. I'm Matt Choumont, filling in for Moses Woldu, who's day-to-day by eating too much turkey, I think it was.
I thought it was the Teletubbies convention.
It could have been the Teletubbies convention. I don't know what it is. But, of course, always joining on the set, Greg Buchanan. How's it going, bud?
Not too bad.
And then this man, I don't know, people might remember you from back in your intern days here, but you're now the Bobcats marketing coordinator. Stephen Katchmar, how you doing, bud?
It's great to be back. I can't believe that I'm actually back here with some legends here. And,
Where?
You look great.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.
Well,
You obviously didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Sorry.
That's okay.
I try.
Okay. We'll start off, big controversy. I don't know if it's really controversy. A good debate. We were having a good battle before we came on. HERTI. 4-goal performance last week against the Rangers. His fourth goal, an absolute beauty. I love it between the legs.
No.
You don't like it, but what do we think about the goal? I thought it was a very skilled goal.
You go first.
Alrighty. I liked it. I liked it because, it shows creativity. The fans love it. People watching highlights love it. The naysayers will say, traditionalists, showboating, hot
They
dogging.
only say that. The only reason I think they say that is because they couldn't think of it or they couldn't do it back in their day.
That's right. I don't mind it. The creativity involved. I mean, he did what it took to score a goal, and the kid was on. So he already had a hat trick in his back pocket. Let's go for something crazy.
So I didn't realize in hockey that they judge you on creativity of goal scoring. Yeah.
You got to find different ways of scoring goals these days. Greg.
There's no room in the game in a 60-minute game. If you want to do that kind of stuff, there's an all-star game and a skills competition. Maybe try to do something stupid like that in a shootout. But in a game to show up, and how many games has he played in the NHL? He's played, maybe 4. And he goes out there and he does something like that as a rookie. First of all, as an opposing player, I would definitely say something in the side of his head. And as a player, his teammate, as a veteran player, I would sit him down and say, kid, that looked fun and everything like that, and it's a nice celebration. Don't do that again, And on top of that, if you notice in the highlights, I know you said before we went on air, his mom had his jersey on the next game.
The game after.
But she had a Patrick Marleau jersey on. Mom, I think they can probably get you a HERTI jersey, but she's got a Patrick
Marleau fan.
But there's no room, really, seriously. Martin Biron, a great veteran goalie, gets shown up. Unfortunately, he loses his job a couple of days later. He's put on
in his
waivers.
defense, Lundqvist could lose his job too. He's not doing much better.
But you're showing up some guys that they're trying to make money for their family, and you did that, and you showed them up. I don't like it at all.
At the same time, this kid's trying to make a name for himself, and that's the way he wants to do it, and so be it.
He may pay the cost one of these days.
Well, he got hurt on Saturday, I believe it was. He kind of had his head down. Good old Clark MacArthur kind of laid the boom into him, and now he's out.
I just know at our level of hockey, if somebody did that, like if one of our players did it, I would talk to him.
Well, if Chris Romanchuk did something like that.
And Chris has. And he'll do it again. And if he does it, we'll talk to him. And if it happens to us, I think some of our players will be talking to him, and it won't be very kind.
All right. Moving on, sticking with the Sharks after that goal was scored, there are some comments made by Jumbo Joe Thornton in the dressing room. We're not going to say what he said. I think a lot of people know what it was. But do you think the reporter who made that public kind of went offside on that?
Yes, I think so. Jumbo Joe, captain, he had time to kind of take in all the comments after the game, after the Rangers game. So you have to defend your guys. And there's some things that, reporters should report on, and some things you just keep in the locker room. So obviously Jumbo Joe was, he came to the defense of HERTI. I don't think it should have been made public, but he's frustrated, and there's some certain things you don't say. But
With what he said, I don't think I want to say Jumbo Joe. But
I did say that once.
Yeah. That kind of creeps me out a bit. I've been in both sides of things as a guy getting interviewed in a dressing room, and I've also been the guy doing the interviewing. And there's sometimes, it doesn't matter what setting it is in junior and professional, and that you're sitting in a scrum and things are said that are a little bit off color. That you're not going to print and you're not going to use as a radio or TV interview. You just kind of laugh and you carry on. This was said not only to this reporter, but about 4 or 5 other reporters.
Yeah, it was a big scrum. Yeah.
So why was only one reporter using it?
Yeah.
Now, the thing that's going to happen to this reporter now, good luck going into that room or any NHL rooms and getting an interview now, because guys aren't going to talk to you.
Yeah. Safe to say code was broken?
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, I totally agree there. I mean, usually players are the ones that have targets in the back, but this guy may have put a huge one on his.
Okay, now moving forward, Edmonton Oilers, they're off to a tremendous 1-4-1 start. Allowing a league-high 29 goals to start off the year. Safe to say, maybe they got to start shopping for some goaltending.
More than just goaltending. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at yesterday's roster they iced, you look at their bottom 6 and guys like Will Acton, Joansu, Gazdich, who else they got? Arcobello. I mean, if those are the guys you're counting on, Mike Brown, if those guys are your bottom 6, it's not just your goaltending. It's going to be. But, I mean, LaBarbera and Dewey have been able to stop a beach bet.
Yeah, I think defensively they suffer. I really have a hard time Ryan Smith being your top 6 or even top 9. Like, Smitty should get limited amount of ice time. He's a role player, and he's out there the other night playing in the last 40 seconds of a game. Are you kidding me? Like, he's almost 40 years old, and any other team, he's maybe a 3rd line, 4th line player. On the Oilers, he's playing power play first unit. Give me a break.
Okay, now I don't know if it's want to hit the panic button just yet, but as a coach or GM, what would you do to kind of mix things up and start getting some wins here? A lot, apparently.
Got to make a move somewhere, whether it's bringing in another forward or changing something at goalie. Just
Do
something.
they need another forward though? They got.
Well, it all depending what you get for a forward. I think, and they're not easy to find with the Oilers. They need a player that a little bit of sandpaper, a player that knows his own end, a player that can be physical. They don't have that right now, and the guys that are physical don't move quick enough to even make an impact in the game. They have a tough road trip. They were in Toronto Saturday, Washington last night. They're in Pittsburgh tonight.
Yeah.
They could come back after the 6-game Eastern Road swing. Wow, it could be then you push the panic button. Then you start going, well, if we don't turn this around now, we could be out of it before we know it.
Okay. Quickly, going to go over to the other side of the province. Calgary Flames, 3-0-2.
Unreal.
Did we expect to see this start from the Calgary Flames, who were supposed to be rebuilding?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, nobody would have thought this. You know what? Here's a team, as a young team, that's bought in to what they want to do. Do they have superb talent? No, they don't, but they have everybody that's bought in. Everybody's playing good defensive game, good offensive game. They're not looking for that picture-perfect pass like guys up north in Edmonton are doing. They're just playing a good, solid hockey game.
I agree. I mean, I think Joy McDonald just showcases exactly what that team is right now. It's just get the job done, go out there and compete. I mean, guys are stepping up to the occasion. They brought in Gagliardi. They brought in, Backlund stepped up. So they're all playing their roles. And geez, like
Sean Monahan too.
Yeah, again, like how can you stand him down?
Start. Yeah. Real quick, do you think with this start, playoffs maybe, or do you think
don't get carried away.
or do you
Don't
think
get carried away.
just like the Titanic, they'll hit that iceberg and start sinking?
Well, you got to think, hopefully the Oilers will turn it around. Vancouver will eventually kind of pick things up. I don't think they're going to be the Vancouver of old. I think they're a team on the decline. And it's just a matter of the Calgary Flames, will they finally hit that wall and start going down?
I don't know if Joey McDonald can do it. Kyrie Brown was supposed to be the guy there.
Yeah.
He's been sitting on the bench for a while, so we'll see what happens there.
All right, we're going to stop right there for a bit. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more Dump and Change.